Always a pleasure to have Mike De Kock back here in Dubai with a smaller team than has been the case in the past. Of course, Mike, we know all about the issues. What did you learn from your 3-year-olds that had the run out last week?
Not much, really. You know, they were unraced coming here, so no one really knew how good they were, and they were untested, so it was a bit of a gamble. We knew that they probably were running about a month earlier than they should be. But it's just, you know, we're backs against the wall here, so use the race to improve their fitness. It's not ideal. I think they've got maiden wins in them. Emotive looks like he could improve the most of the two, probably got the most quality. But, yeah, they're not, you know, at this stage of the game, they're certainly not derby horses. They're going to have to improve out of all proportions to be.
I'll talk about the horse that runs this week, King Ragnar. He's not a stereotypical Mike De Kock horse.
Yeah, he's actually quite a nice horse, and thankfully it was offered to us through Mohammed by Sheikh Mana. He looks a sort of sprinter miler type. Certainly this Saturday, you know, 1,000 metres is way too short. Again, we're using the race, you know, as an exercise gallop to try and bring him on, because we're just sort of up against it. Yeah, we don't really have horses to gallop him with, work him with, to bring him on, so we're going to have to use the race for that. But I think by the end of a carnival, when he's at a real peak, there's the Maidan Challenge, seven furlong, I think, towards the end. I think he'd be very competitive there. But this 5 furlong is, you know, it's just not within his reach. It's way too short. We'll give him a 5, we'll give him a 6 there's a race in 2 weeks' time, I think Dubai Sprint or something, handicap as well, and then the challenge. But he's quite a nice progressive sort.
And then where will he go after the carnival, do you know?
Well, I don't know. I think we'll discuss that with Sheikh Mana. You know, we've got plans now. We're hoping to revive Dubai again, sort of 2022, and try and move horses between here and Australia, you know, with Matthew down there. So that's something we're setting our sights on. There's no point in leaving horses here in the winter, not earning, you know, and when there's lucrative stakes as there are in Australia. I think it's something that needs to be investigated. You know, we were doing it between South Africa and here, and moving them from Australia to South Africa. You know, that's been very, very difficult. So, you know, the new game plan, hopefully, is to try and get Australia going. So, you know, we keep trying new things. What can we do?
Well, it's worked for you well in the past, that strategy. And 2 horses have just arrived here for you, Najem Sahel and Marshall, again arriving a bit late for the carnival itself.
Yeah, you know, it's a pity that it's so late, because I think they're 2 smart horses. Najem Sahel, I think, is a proper group sprinter. And he's a horse, if he went back to Australia, would be very competitive there. Marshall, a hard-knocking handicapper sort, and I was, you know, bringing him here for the handicaps, but doesn't look like he's going to get to run in a handicap, sadly. But, you know, again, he can also one that can move on. As I said, Najem is the group horse. Marshall is a top-class handicap sprint and could be sort of in a listed Group 3 region.
Okay, that's quite interesting. And you'll look at maybe giving them both a run out on Super Saturday?
Hopefully, yeah. Super Saturday's obviously at the weight's not going to suit Marshall. Yeah, look, Najem Sahel, I'm hoping, will be ready for that sprint. If Marshall is, he is. And we'll probably run them too. But, you know, as you alluded to on earlier, there's probably going to be a lack of numbers, certainly for the carnival. So they'll get runs. It's just whether they're going to be competitive or not, or at a level of fitness that they will be.
Yeah, it's a good year to be here. We are down on numbers. Majestic Mambo, Brad actually ran some nice races here last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been a trifle disappointing, but, you know, again, I'm itching to switch into the dirt and see, because he's just got all dirt in his pedigree. But we're going to probably give him one warm-up on the grass and then have a crack at the dirt. But he's just about ready, about 3 weeks off a run.
I must congratulate you on a big success in South Africa a couple of weeks ago with Queen Supreme.
Yeah, it's been going quite well. We've got a nice string and a couple of really nice horses. It would be beautiful. We could just put her on a plane tomorrow and bring her here for the duty-free, but unfortunately that's not going to happen.
Is there any progress on the whole quarantine transfer?
I must admit, last year, this time, I was more bullish. There's a hell of a lot of enthusiasm from South Africa, but we're not receiving the same enthusiasm from the EU. In fact, it might play into our hands, the Brexit, and that would probably be easier to negotiate with England than it would be the EU. because the EU, quite frankly, just haven't delivered on promises. So, you know, and in the meantime, our industry is ailing. So, from that point of view, you know, if there's no good news by sort of March, April of next year, I don't know if there ever will be good news, but, you know, we can't drop the ball now, and hopefully England will come to the party. I think they'll be pretty desperate to do deals with everybody and trade deals, and we certainly can contribute to their economy of racing there if we're allowed to.
Because you've been very open. That's the reason why you had 30 horses here before, and now you're down to 5 or 6.
No, yeah, exactly. You know, it's just killed our business. It's killed the South African business too, in that we used to get a lot more international buyers. You know, in the meantime, the EU is just sort of looking on. I mean, we are staring massive job losses down the barrel of a gun. We you know, horses in training, but you know, right now it doesn't seem to worry them.
Oh, awful. On the bright side, you mentioned Australia. Matthew's doing really well down there.
Yes, fortunately, that's been. I mean, him and getting together with a man like Robbie Griffiths is something that's been pretty unexpected, but it's been an absolute godsend. It's been fantastic for Matthew to learn from him and to participate in the racing down there. It's a wonderful racing jurisdiction, very strong, and you know, I'm very keen to get behind them and move as many horses as I can to them, as I think they have a lot of potential. And then, as I said to you, the potential of participating in the carnival, and also down in the lucrative carnivals in Australia now becomes a reality.
That would be really exciting. And just while I've got you here, looking back at your time in Dubai, it's been a long time. Are there any particular highlights, any horses that really stand out, or any races that really stand out?
Yeah, a lot of them are distant memory these days.
I'll rattle a few names off at you. We've got Mubtahij, Igugu, Vercingetorix, Asiatic Boy, Iridescence, Eagle Mountain, Victory Moon, Variety Club, Shay Shay, JJ the Jet Plane, Soft Falling Rain, Messiah, Sun Classic.
And Ipitombi.
And Ipitombi. I didn't even put her on my list.
Yeah. I mean, they all won huge races, yeah. You know, I mean, it's like you couldn't almost write the script. And we'd really love to get back to those days and get those quality of animals back here, because I'm still a really big believer in the Dubai Carnival and, you know, the whole Dubai dream itself. So we'd like to get back to that. But I don't know, you know, one particular, I suppose it's always the first one. You know, I suppose it's like you having your first love. The Victory Moon Ipitombi night was massive, and the first night of the Poly year 210 was really massive. You know, and you look at a horse like Vercingetorix now. He will be a champion stallion in South Africa. He's really flying along. Yeah, it's been a privilege being associated with him, but we'd like to get that back. You know, I'd like to get, you know, even someone like Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa was really a big owner in the carnival before. A lot of horses, top owner. The export has also sort of taken away his enthusiasm. You know, he loved to bring in 4 or 5 horses every year, new horses, participate, but it's, you know, it's killed all of us in terms of participation. Yeah, Sheikh Hamdam as well always used to, you know, enjoy letting us bring his best out of South Africa, yeah. And it's unfortunately changed all of that, you know, and the spin-off is that their interest in South African racing wanes as well.
Yeah.
You know, before, between them, they'd have over 100 horses in training, so and it's way, way, way less than that now, and purely rests at the door of export. So hopefully we get that right, get them back interested, you know, again.